In Source's eyes, there's only two type of people. So what side of the fence are you sitting on?
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
Hey guys, Joel's back with another reasoning session, and today I'm talking about the difference between tapping in and not tapping in. But before I get into it, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up and be sure to hit subscribe for more like content, because honestly, these videos are coming through every day. There's messages coming to me multiple times a day, and I'm just doing my best to keep up with Source, because Source is literally accelerating my life and it's an amazing ride. So tap in and you too can experience this in your own life experience. But with that out of the way, I'm just going to jump right into it. And like I said, there are two types of people, only two types of people in Source's eyes. Those that are tapped in with Source and those that are not. And what does that look like when you're tapped into Source? Well, in the book of Moses called Devarim, where he literally recapitulates the entire law or system of governments of Yahweh to the Israelites, it says, "See, this is Source speaking, I have set before you this day life and good, and death and evil." Literally, the choice is ours, and it begins in our awareness with the thoughts that we entertain. And it is a personal choice. Like, what are you focusing on? What's your mindset gravitating to whenever a situation presents itself? Are you looking at the positive and how you can move through it and maybe gain something out of it? Or are you constantly going to the negative? That's actually showing you where you are in that situation and where your state of being actually is. No matter what facade you put on the outside, what's really on the inside of you, that's what manifests your reality. And the choice literally is ours. And from there, it culminates through the actions and the choices that we take. But that's what begins the process, whether we want to choose the good actions or the bad actions that will lead us away from what we prefer. Source goes on to say that this is all set forth in black and white, in that I command you this day to love Yahweh your God, or to really adhere to that system of generation, seed time and harvest. What you put out is what you get back. To walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments. So to observe all these aspects of how Source delivers harvest to you, that you may live and multiply, so that you'll get a good harvest instead of a bad harvest. And Yahweh your God shall bless you in the land where you go to possess it. You know, but there's two sides to this coin. He says, "But if your heart turn away so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land where you pass over Jordan to go to possess it." So like there's also a good harvest, the other side of the story is that there's also a bad harvest. "I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing." You know, basically all of manifested reality. And that's exactly what he's saying, that we have the power to influence and manifest. So he's giving us a choice, but he even goes on to tell us what to choose. "Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live." Sow those seeds of life, and then you're going to reap a harvest of life. "That you may love Yahweh your God, and that you may obey his voice, and that you may cleave unto him, for he is your life, and the length of your days, that you may dwell in the land which Yahweh sware unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, to give them." So if you want a good harvest, if you want to reap the rewards of success, then you got to tap into Source. And what is Source? Source is life. Source is the divine manifestations of all things generating in the earth. And that system is what you put out is what you get back. When you sow an apple seed, you get an apple tree, and then you can pick apples off that apple tree. You know, but you don't get cobs of corn hanging off that apple tree. It's a system. And when you play according to the rules of that system, you're going to reap the harvest according to that system. So source is love, source is truth, source is community, source is harmony, source is unity, source is all these things that we want for ourselves. So why would we wish anything else on other people? Because when we do that, we're actually sowing the opposite seeds, and then we're going to have to reap that opposite harvest. So no matter what the circumstances, no matter what condition you're going through, look at it through the eyes of source. Look at it with that agape, that unconditional love, which source really is. And then you're not going to sow seeds of cursing other people or organizations or institutions or whatever. You're going to be able to sow seeds of love despite the hate. And then even though they're sowing seeds of hate and they might reap that harvest, you're immune to that. And you can move past that and actually, despite what reason and logic may argue for your situation, you can absolutely manifest a world around that, opposite to what the circumstances and the trends are showing that is inevitable. And you can literally manifest a bubble reality where you're living heaven on earth despite the lockdown. Oh, did I say that? Well, it's true, because that is the potential and the power that we have inside of ourselves as manifesting beings. So step up, tap in, and get on the right side of fence where source is your harvest, and you can literally manifest your best life yet. The dream world that you know you've come here to not only live in, but actually bring to pass for others to see you as a living example of source downloading the kingdom of heaven into this earth plane. So I love you guys. I'll check you in the next reasoning sesh. Joel signing out once again. Agape. Salaam. Namaste. Shalom.